we're going to wrap this up. On Facebook, one of Jordan Hall's, after he told Kofi to go home, one of his comments was this. Let me try to be more humble and less braggadocious, as apparently it is my arrogance that has everyone in this thread upset. I have debated 3,535,345,345 moderated debates on 7 continents, 12 planets, 2 galaxies, and inside 1 black hole. I've written 45 books on the topic of Muslim apologetics and have debated in 98 mosques, 47 synagogues, and at least 1 madrasa in Beirut. I did all the above while riding between such events on my bicycle and listening to debate prep on 1.5 speed. That's less arrogant than mentioning pulpit and pen's many readers. I hope that suffices and pacifies your complaint. So what that tells me is that JD is well aware of the fact that when it comes to actual apologetics, does anyone remember the factual reality that despite the division between us, I accurately and fairly analyzed the debates that he's done? Not every one of them, but the ones here locally and elsewhere, and gave him the credit where credit was due, but he's only done a few. And he's self-publishing a book. Everyone's concern should be, if this man is willing to behave like this, what does it say about the quality of the argumentation in the book? Because it's an important subject. And I do not doubt for a second that JD will have tons of facts. Here's the problem, though. If you try to fit facts into a warped worldview, a worldview that is warped by your own absolute obsession to be considered the infallible source of all things, to think you are the one man standing firm against the downgrade and nobody else, even if nobody stands with me, I will be the one man standing. You will warp and twist those facts. And that's what he has done. And so he can have all the good research in the world, but good research with an undisciplined, rebellious, self-centered mind will create havoc and will not help any of us. It will not help any of us. That's the problem. That's the problem. Now, one last thing. Why? Why over and over, and I had some of the conversation over the weekend, why even bother? Just ignore the man. You cannot ignore bullies. You cannot ignore people who are going to use their platform to destroy others in the body. That's cowardice. That's cowardice. And so that's why I said what I said on Facebook. And that's why we're responding here. The man not only behaves in an infantile fashion, and this was a demonstration that we let you listen. We put his stuff on our stream. So we put his accusations on our stream because he does not realize how bad he looks and how infantile his behavior is. He doesn't realize it. I'm not doing that hoping that there's someone in his circle that can sit him down and say, JD, you've got to listen. He's right. You put your book out and you're behaving like this, it's done. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think there's anybody close to him that I think it's done. We tried for years. Elders got involved and churches got involved. We tried for years. Our audience and that audience end up intersecting. And I wish all Christians would be mature enough to recognize that you simply have to allow for time, that you should not believe everything just because you hear it on a webcast, that you should take the time to listen and to evaluate, and to do so in light of a person's entire life ministry, not just this one particular instance. I wish that's how everybody thought, but it's unfortunately not. So, in conclusion, nothing's changed. J.D. Hall exploded and spewed vile venom all over the internet again, but nothing's changed. If they ever get around to taking the Diane Gaskin stuff out from behind a paywall and put it out where it can be evaluated and done so fairly, then if it does engage in fundamentalist, associationalist, category error-ridden argumentation, I will call it out. I will not be bullied by J.D. Hall. I'm not going to do it. Someone's got to stand up against these people. And so we will use this platform because there is a more important issue here. We need to provide a meaningfully balanced, gracious, biblical, non-compromising response to our society. And the J.D. Halls of the world are not equipped to give that to us. They are equipped to give us nuclear weapons and C4. But when it comes to actually providing deeply thought out responses that are not dependent upon just punching somebody in the nose as your first rebuttal, that's not coming from pulpit and pen. Never has, never will. Just go look at it. Well, Rich says don't do that because they get clicks. But and they get paid for it. But there's the documentation is there. And I will allow anyone, just compare. Just compare. It's